I'd like to thank everybody for joining me today. Today, I want to talk about our transition planning. What are our business owners doing to transition their business? Now, if you think about it, every privately held business is going to transfer at some time. 100%. It's got to go to family, employees, somebody. But when our owner wants to transition that business, are they ready for the transition? Have they planned ahead so that they know what's going to happen with this business when they're ready to move on? And if they don't plan, it's not going to happen the right way. I look at this and I see a lot of advisors. They ask the wrong question. They ask a business owner, when are you going to retire? And that what I see with a lot of business owners, they don't know how to answer that question. If, ask your business owner, when you're going to retire. I don't plan on retiring. What we should be asking them is, when are you going to want to transition the ownership of your business? And that's so we can have those business owners understanding that retirement and ownership may be two different conversations. Yes, you want to keep working and have something to do, but what are you going to do with the ownership of that business? And the big part of this is that I see with our business owner clients. When we're talking about their business involves so much of their estate planning as well. Are they planning on using their business value as part of their retirement income? Are they setting this up so that they're protecting both their estate and family, part of the plan, and protecting their employees as part of their business plan? Part of this transition plan, and the reason that I like working with business owners, is we get to work with both their business planning and we get to move over into their estate planning because the two parts of their lives are intersect and are tied together. So the big question I look at is, when we're talking transition planning, buy sell planning, and I'm talking to a business owner, the big question is, what is holding them back? What is it that emotionally is holding them back, financially is holding them back, or are they don't want to think about it or haven't been asked the question? Well, part of this that I see is, does our business owner know the value of their business? And a lot of times the problem is they don't. Um, they get into a situation where I think it might be worth X. It might be worth $1 million, $2 million, $5 million. Whatever that is, do they know that? And I look at this, do we need to have an appraisal done? Is that where we need to help our business owners start? Because they may be thinking their company's worth $1 million when in essence it might be worth $10 million. Or they think it's worth $10 million and it's only worth $1 million. If we don't have good values and something that we can rely on, how are we going to put a plan together that really matches up with the goals and objectives that our clients have? So part of the valuation, and I think a lot of advisors and a lot of business owners don't understand what an appraisal is. They don't understand that an appraisal, they think it's this big blown up process that is there. We need an appraisal if we're doing some tax planning or if we're filing gift taxes, estate taxes, those types of things. Or we've sold the business and the bank is requiring a certified appraisal. We can go get a non-certified appraisal that will help us with our strategic planning because it's going to show how this company is being valued. Is it being valued on income? Is it being valued on EBITDA? What type of multiples are we using? To what type of add backs do we need to put back into their EBITDA calculation? All of these things can be done if we get a non-certified appraisal, which really isn't that expensive, but gets us a good starting point. So once we find out what the company is valued, now let's ask the big question. And this is something that our business owner clients have to answer. What are their goals? And in the transition planning, we have to ask the question, What are the family goals? Are we transferring this business to a family member? Is this part of your retirement plan? All of those things drive us right into the family goals. The other side is, what are the business goals? Do you want to work in your business for the next 10 years? Do you have key employees that can take over if you want to be a partially or a fully absentee owner? All of these things bring us into the planning cycle of understanding where their goals are so that we can start progressing forward with the way to handle their transition. When I look at the transition planning, we need to ask them, are they trying to keep the business in the family? If so, we can look at gifting, selling. Um, that's either way in gifting, selling combination, all of that can happen. But if part of this is retirement planning, well, we can't be gifting the business if we're trying to use that for retirement. Then we have to ask in the business or the estate planning, what about the non-business family members? Are we trying to equalize the inheritance so that if there's three kids and one of them gets the business and it's gifted to them, are we going to equalize those gifts to the other children? If so, how do we do that and how do we do it efficiently? This is a great place to bring in life insurance. So if we're gifting the business to child one, we can give life insurance death benefit to child two and child three. All of this can work, but there again, we need to know what the goals are. We need to know what the valuation is so that we can answer those questions appropriately. If our business owner is going to sell the business and they say, yep, I want to sell my business, I want to sell it in 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, whatever it is, the question I like to ask is, who are you selling it to? And this is part of the business goals. If part of their business goals are, I want to protect the legacy of the business. I want to protect my employees that have helped me grow my business. All of this factors in as well to who we're selling it to. Because if you're selling it to a third party, okay, you sell it to a third party, they're looking at it probably as a strategic purchase. And if it's a strategic purchase, they may come in and say, you know what, any duplicate employee is going to get fired day one. We don't need them. I have my own accounting department. I have my own C-suite. I do need the managers and I need my field people, but everybody else can go. If you're selling it to a business partner, are you selling it full fair market value? There again, back to the appraisal. Do we know what it's worth so that when we're offering it to the business partner, we're doing it at either a full fair market value, a realized discount? There again, there's no right or wrong to that. It's just know what we're dealing with. We could be selling it to our employees outright or through an ESOP. There again, there's advantages to all of these things. But more importantly, it's what are the goals of our business owner client and what is he or she trying to accomplish so we can get the right fit and knowing, is it going to a family? Is it going to a third party? Is it going to a business partner or employees? All of these are good questions that we need to get answered so that we can pull out all the tools from our toolbox to make sure that we're planning from here forward to get the right result. So I look at this. How do we get our clients started? We need to get this business transition conversation started as soon as possible. And the question I like to have is, what happens to your business if you don't plan? If you haven't planned for your transition and you don't show up to work today, what's going to happen to your business? What's going to happen to the value of your business? What's going to happen to the value in your estate plan? What's going to happen to your employees or partners that weren't involved in the planning either? So all of these things start the conversation, and as we understand their goals, understand the value of the business, and understand where they want their business going, we can help them plan for this transition. There again, the sooner we start, the better. But the big part of this is let's help our business owners clients start moving forward to get the right result. So I appreciate everybody getting on. If you have questions, reach out. If not, we'll talk again next week. Thank you.